think about things. There's estate planning that you do that you know it's going to happen, right? Everybody has a will. They know they're going to die. They know that they need to plan, or I should say most people do, not everyone does, have a plan in place for how their wealth is going to be distributed to their heirs, what they want their children to have. There's also estate planning and financial planning that you should do for the things that could happen. Think the most obvious examples are why you choose guardians for your children, why you have term life insurance, that God forbid you were to die while your children were still minors, that you want someone to take care of them. You want to name that person. You don't want to leave it up to the courts. You have term life insurance because if you left a young spouse or a young family, you would need that money in place versus if you had saved your whole life and had set yourself up. Planning for incapacity can fall into that same thing. You want to have something in place should something happen to you that people can take care of you. Think about, probably one of the best known cases is the Terri Schiavo case. She was only 26 years old when she had her heart attack. So that planning was not in place and she didn't have a young family yet. So it's really rare that she would have that kind of planning in place. But it's an illustration of how young you could need this and why you would want it in place. Everyone has an opinion of what they want to happen in their health care and what they would want to do going forward. So that's why you would get something like that set up late 20s, early 30s. Personally, when I did my first round of estate planning, when I had my girls in my late 20s, by 30, both of them had been born, and we did, wills and life insurance trusts and all of that. And we included at that time, we did both medical and financial power of attorneys.
Sure. I can also attest in my own family, there was a situation where a family member was incapacitated for some amount of time. And it was at that point that we realized a power of attorney would have been very helpful, but it had not already been set up. Thankfully, they recovered, are fine now, and do in fact have a power of attorney in place for future reference. But it's never the way you want to find out that it would have been nice to have one, unfortunately.
And in that situation, you were lucky in the sense they were able to recover and get that in place because your hands are tied. If someone is incapacitated, you have no power. You are at the mercy of the courts and the law.
Absolutely.